stage till they get to second guessing. I just forget the lessons that I couldn't learn, because one street over there's a life I could have known would have kept me from the one I had today.
Oh, good morning. How you doing, Robertson County? This is 1100 WSGI. I'm U-Turn LaVern. This is one street over. I'll turn the music down so you can hear what I'm saying. Again, this is 1100 WSGI. I am U-Turn LaVern, one street over, right in front of you this morning. And my dear friend, Mayor Billy Vogle is in the house. And oh my goodness, I just appreciate you changing your schedule and all of those things. I messaged him yesterday. I said, because I was out last week. And so I asked him and Ryan, I said, hey, do you want to just wait and come in whenever I get back next week? And but I'm glad I reminded you, because I think you'd have forgot.
I had forgotten because it's been so busy. And now with Easter week coming up,
I know.
Between church activities, the Fisherman Breakfast Saturday morning we have, and it's just a lot going on. And then our church is having sunrise service, and we'll have breakfast afterwards.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a busy weekend.
So you've got your breakfast is this Saturday?
Yes.
That you have? Okay, because you have that on the 4th Saturday.
I always have the last Saturday of the month, and this Saturday this month had four Saturdays.
It had five.
Five.
Yeah, because the first was on Friday. So it's not the 4th. It's the last Saturday of the month.
Last Saturday of the month.
Okay.
And let me say that Friday, the county buildings will be closed for Good Friday.
Right.
But I will be at the cemetery up there on
Me too.
Memorial Boulevard from 8 to 11:30.
I'll have to look. I've got the little flyer here.
Because I'm supposed to be there to welcome.
Okay. No, let's see here. Okay, we have got 9 to 11. Veterans.
9 to 11.
Well, no. Hang on a second. Here we go.
My book says 8 to 11.
Okay,
we're really organized, gang.
Veterans Town Hall is 8:30 to 11. So I guess it is. Okay, it's a little bit different timeline than what I was thinking. But because what we've done, they're doing a meet and greet. If you're a Vietnam veteran, if you love a Vietnam veteran, if you just want to honor the Vietnam veterans, which we all should do, this is all happening. Vietnam Vets Day falls this year on Good Friday. So the way we've done this in the past, we would have they'll place the next piece of the memorial at Springfield Memorial Gardens, and then we would have our speakers and all of those things, and then we would read all the names that are on the memorial. What they're doing this year, because that ended up just being just really a long day. So we're doing the reading of the names, presenting of the names on Thursday evening. So that is happening again on Thursday evening, and I'll have to kind of look through and see the times. Okay, Vietnam Vets Day celebration, March 29th. It's 12. They're saying now this is 12 p.m. at the actual event. So this is kind of all over the place here. Let me see if I can get this all clarified.
I got to get an agenda on that.
Okay. Because I know we're doing the reading of the names at 6 p.m. the day before, and that's at Springfield Memorial Gardens. And then it looks like you've got a Veterans Town Hall meeting 9 to 11 on Friday. So I think that's kind of like a meet and greet. So if you have things that you want to come talk to the mayor, you can come talk to him. But the actual memorial presentation, it looks like it's starting at noon at Springfield Memorial Gardens on Friday. So, meet and greet. Here we go. Oh, read your words, LaVern. Meet and greet is March 28th, 4 to 6 p.m. at the Holiday Inn Express Suites. So they're going to do a meet and greet, and then at 6 p.m., see, what they didn't do is they didn't put the 24th on the candlelight visual, but it's just right under it. So looking at this flyer, the meet and greet will be at the Holiday Inn Express. So if anybody's coming in, because people will come in, they're going to get their name on this memorial. And then they're going to have people, come in, special, thing to be there. And so you get together at the Holiday Inn Express on Thursday. That's the day before Vietnam Vets Day, 4 to 6 p.m. Then you go over to the Springfield Memorial Gardens at 6 p.m., and that's where we're going to have the reading of the names.
Okay.
So do I have all that straight now? Okay, I think we're good. And so we're going to read the names, and then on Friday, we're going to go over to Springfield Memorial Gardens at 12, and we're going to have a presentation. We're going to have the whole memorial and all of that going on. And so that looks like that'll work. So, all right, I think we're good to go. And it looks like that my normal, if you're on my Facebook page and suddenly it dropped out, we'll share the WSGI page because something happened to my feed. I'm not sure what, but we'll share the WSGI page and you can get the whole content here. Oh my goodness, it's going to be one of them days, brother. Anyway, let me see here. We're going to share. There we go. So there we've got the WSGI feed up, and then I'll see what's going on with my normal feed. But anyway, we'll reiterate this. Billy and I, Mayor Vogle and I are both going to be attending this, and we want you to be a part of it. But again, just good morning, folks. Good morning.
I think I probably need to follow up today on that.
Yeah, but that's what it looks like. I think you probably need to get your host schedule together on that.
Yes,
so,
I do.
But anyway. So, all right. Well, we'll be seeing you, I'm sure. I'm going to be seeing a lot of you Thursday and Friday, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, we've got a lot going on this week. I mean,
yes, we do.
I've been surprised at how busy I was yesterday. 90% of it wasn't even on the book. It's just you just don't know what's coming down the pike.
Yeah.
Every day is something. You can't make it up, folks. You can't make it up.
Well, you had your commissioners meeting last week. So what all happened with the commissioners meeting last week?
We didn't have a short meeting, but we didn't have a lot on the agenda either. But there was a lot of discussion about zoning. Every day, folks, I'm telling you the truth, every day I have a meeting about the growth that's coming on with people. Some don't like it. Some are, if you're in the commercial side of it, yeah, you want more people in town, but if you're on the other side of it, you don't. And of course, as a county mayor, I'm thinking constantly about the schools. And I'm going to get on to, at the end of before we get out of here, today I'm going to talk about some of the projects that's being brought to my table, and it's unreal. And somebody's going to have to look out for the taxpayers, and I promise it's going to be me. Because don't everybody need to drive a Cadillac? Some of us driving, Volkswagens. So I'm sending a message out there to certain people.
I hear you.
Yeah.
I hear you. But and if you're just joining us, I know we had a little bit of a connectivity issue on the social media page, but it looks like everything's running now and you can plug in. And always, if you can't find us on my social media page, go to the WSGI page. That's where it lives. And I need to really probably just get in the habit of sharing that every morning as well. But we've got Mayor Billy Vogle in here on a different day because I was out for spring break last week, and he very graciously said he'd hold up and come in. I don't know, if I don't meet with you every week, I just don't feel like I know what's going on in the county. I truly, and if you are not plugging in to find out what's going on in the county, guys, go and watch the meetings, watch this show, find some place to plug in where you can get an update on things that are going on around the county. Right,
because we are changing by the week, looks like to me.
Right.
There's stuff coming on just across the desk, going in front of the budget committee, building grounds, the different committees that, the schools is doing projects. They came to us last week. They're fixing to build a baseball field at Coopertown Elementary.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Personally, I would rather see them put it at the middle school. Because I think that's where the kids are playing baseball. There's the age, but baseball field now, bleachers and everything you need is $1 million.
Jeez, oh Pete.
Yes.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it's the reason.
I think the cost of things, it really blows my mind because I know what I can go in and build something for.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Well,
the cost of everything right now, I truly, folks that are trying to raise kids right now in this economy and buying groceries. I went to the grocery store the other day and I was just astounded. The price of eggs have gone through the roof again.
Yep.
And of course, I think that's just Easter, supply and demand. Maybe, I don't know. Is there something that's happened in the news with the eggs? Have you heard anything? Is there some kind of weird thing going on in the chicken houses?
I don't know.
I haven't heard that, but I know egg prices at Walmart were terribly high the other day. And, but hey, But
when I was a kid, mom and dad or whoever, the athletic clubs would go build baseball fields or maybe even the football fields. I remember we all took out notes at the bank and built our own bleachers. But ever since,
fundraised.
Fundraised. But ever since bleachers was started collapsing, now you can't do that. You got to have somebody bonded there to draw it up and use the type of material where it won't collapse, where somebody won't get hurt, where the schools won't be held liable. If you build a high school today with all your football, soccer, your softball field for girls and stuff, you're looking at $100 million. If you buy the land, and that's what these counties are facing right now in Middle Tennessee. The governor last week, Friday, I had to go to I didn't have to, but I was invited. GNRC,
you were honored to go.
Yes, Billy. GNRC asked me to sit at a table, and the governor was there and made a talk about Middle Tennessee, and he is literally every week going somewhere to some company that wants to come to Middle Tennessee, and we're trying to find spots for them. Our industrial board bought some land in White House that TVA is involved in, the state's involved in, and City of White House with sewer, that already we've got 2 people wanting 40 acres of it and don't even, we ain't even got started on the infrastructure. They're wanting to come to Middle Tennessee, and they want to be around the interstate. So I think our industrial board's fixing to, they bought it, we'll get it done, turn around, we'll sell the land for a profit. And that's what it's all about. You got to have a location.
And that's the key.
And Middle Tennessee is the hot spot. The governor, he got into schools some, but he really kept talking about the growth. And folks are coming here because our workforce is a good workforce.
Yeah, and that's one thing. If you see if you know the story of Electrolux and the fact that they put a plant in Memphis, that they couldn't find the workforce to man it, and they ended up bringing that over here. And so we ended up, the fact that they couldn't get the workforce they needed in Memphis, we benefited from. And I know that because my husband was with Electrolux before he went into the school system. And so, it's very, it's a huge compliment to our work ethic here. But then even then, it could improve. We brag on our work ethic, then we all know people that don't want to work.
Don't want to work. When you post jobs, can't get anybody to apply for them.
Man, it's crazy.
But a lot of it's going to automation too, folks.
Yeah, that's true.
And they're making their own workforce, but somebody's got to work on that stuff too.
Well, Mayor Billy Vogle is in the house, and this is, again, 1100 WSGI. This is one street over, our opportunity to see what's going on one street over from where you're living. We invited him to come in this week since I was out last week, and same thing's going to happen with Ryan Martin, our city manager for Springfield. He's going to come in tomorrow, even though they had the mayor and alderman meeting last week to give us an update since I'm back in the seat, and I appreciate him so much. So what else did you do at the county
Let me just say,
commissioners meeting?
We started our communications, and they wanted me to announce that the Robertson County Farmers Market starts April the 20th.
Okay.
Yeah, and run through the 27th. It's every Saturday at Fairgrounds from 8 o'clock to noon. It's that time of year, folks. People's done started planting. So, April the 20th. And I don't know why they wanted me to announce this, but they said the 2024 Ross County Fair dates are August 6th to 10th. So I guess they want to get the word out early that the fair is in August.
Well, they moved it.
Yeah.
See, and they moved it later, and then now they've moved it back into August. So, and I need to, get them in here. I'll, get the folks in here.
Get the fair board in here. They always got something cooking.
Well, and that's something I need to do because I hadn't had Trent Cobb in here in a while. So I need to get him on in here to talk to him about all that. But, he absolutely is one that will plug in and keep us up to date on that. But we need to get the lowdown on it. I tell you, I really liked the later date though. I really did. But
where it's not so hot.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But now what my understanding is that they just didn't have things ready to go. Maybe, I don't know. As far as people being ready to, what am I trying to say? The timing of school and all of that. And some of the things were already beyond the date. The tomatoes were already finished or something to that degree. Maybe, I can't remember exactly, but Trent and I talked a little bit about that and how that the timing on when the produce is going to be in was better in August, maybe. I think maybe that's what
You know,
he was
they've
telling
probably
me.
got to consider the timing on whoever's going to bring the rides in.
Well, that's true too.
You got to book that up, and you got to get the.
That's
get 'em-
huge. Yeah, that's a huge part of it. So what was the date again? You said
Okay,
it was
August the
fir-
6th through the
Okay.
10th.
Wow.
Yeah, that's pretty early, isn't it?
That's really early. That's
Yeah.
right after, man, that's the first week of school, y'all.
Yeah.
Okay.
There'll be people cutting back then.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, Steve Sauls, which is with the school system now, he came in with Danny Weeks. He spoke to the county commission to tell us about some plans they had going on. It looks like they may bring a bond, wanting a bond to do some work this year. And we're probably looking at a $25, $30 million bond. They want to put a wing on West Side, do something at the middle school, wing up there. And then there's a Phoenix Academy, do some work out there. And I tell folks, you know, we got fund balances that tells you how much money you can borrow. Now, at the end of this meeting, I'm going to make some comments about that. We can only borrow so much money. You know, that's just the way it is. So I got several projects that people are wanting, and some of them are, you know, they got a wish list, and some of them going to be happy, and some of them probably ain't. So anyway, he talked about what the schools had coming on, and we moved down to my reports, and I'm just going to say that, you know, the highway department got $1 million from the state, but at $100,000 a mile to pave, that won't do but 10 miles. But we do have tax money from our diesel fuel and gas tax that they get every year, and that's what the highway department runs on. They do not get a penny of property tax, not a penny. So, but that was the extra 10 miles that we got from the state, and you know what? You know, we've got good roads, and I'll put our highway department up with anybody. But as far as the interstates and doing that, we're way behind. We're way behind because I go to the meetings, and if you want an interstate right now fixed or added to it, you're 10, 12 years out. And a red light.
That's incredible.
I have worked, White House has worked, Kerry's worked about getting a red light up there on Highway 76 at that dangerous intersection up there at the caution light.
Oh, yeah.
And TDOT told me we're 5 years out from getting a red light.
But so it's on the agenda to get.
Yes, but it's
just gonna
still
take a while.
I mean, think about it. A red light, just a simple something is it's 5 years out. It blows my mind. So you know, it's frustrating. Okay, we done the trustees report where she handles all the money that comes in and puts it in the bank, and veteran services. If you notice, veteran services is at the office building on the first floor. That will be moving in June or July across the road. We've remodeled at Doctors Plaza in the process, and where they're at now is probably 350 square feet. They're moving to 500 something square feet.
Okay. They'll be happy about that.
Yeah, this is something that the county does for the veterans of this county, because Scott and them doing a great job, and we bring in a lot of money for the veterans. And this is a place that they can go. We've just got through finishing with a parking lot up there of 105 cars can park. It's handicap accessible. We did not use taxpayer dollars. It probably came from the taxpayers out of the federal government, but this was part of the CARES Act.
Oh, good.
Yeah, we used that money for that parking lot and remodeling that building. I'm going to move planning and zoning over there too. We get a lot of traffic going up planning and zoning, and I've got a game plan of 911's going to move over there. I'm not talking about the dispatching. I'm talking about the addressing. There's 3 ladies on the 3rd floor. I need that 3rd floor possibility of putting a courtroom. We've already got the parking over there. The sheriff's already got the security. We added $200,000 more to the sheriff's budget to secure the whole building. And why not use part of that 3rd floor for a courtroom when it's already secured? It's the best thing that could happen to the taxpayers.
Yeah.
I got a feeling.
Makes sense for
yeah.
sure.
Well, a lot of people's not going to be happy because they want a new judicial complex. But right now, financially, we're with the schools want their wants. We don't have the borrowing power. It's somewhere down the road. We're going to have to find a building and do that. But the location, I'll get into it now. The location, the city doesn't sound to me they're too happy about us putting it around the square because of parking.
Well, then that's huge because
but the attorneys want it around the square where they can
where their offices are.
Now the sheriff would like to have it somewhere where he's at because of security. Mm-hmm. I mean, he's already protecting 21 schools and 2 courthouses with officers.
Seems like he'd get a larger say in that then.
I think he should because he's over securities. I don't care.
Exactly.
I don't care whether the mayor's involved or a judge is involved or who. He is over security.
Yes.
Yeah. I tell people I think the sheriff's probably the most powerful person in the county. Yeah.
Wonder what he thinks. About
we're looking at several options. I'm not against building this building that we need, and we do need it. But right now, because we got appointed a new judge that just comes one day a week, we're going to try to do the best we can. So I just want everybody to be patient. Plus, we got to do what the taxpayers can afford to. Mm-hmm. That's a big thing. Yeah, EMA, they've have been highly involved in the 2 missing persons. You know what I mean? We was over there, Chance and them was over there 3 or 4 days, and hopefully someday they can find this last young man that's missing. But he explained some of the things that was going on, and all the alphabet people over there, and he said it was something, it was really the search and everything, how it's laid out. It was interesting. We had our meeting last night at EMS, and EMS is going to request another ambulance. We got one in last month, but we got another one coming in June.
You were telling me what an ambulance costs. Go ahead and remind people what an ambulance costs.
White House is growing so much that we're going to have to put an ambulance up there.
Mm-hmm. But what's the price tag on an ambulance? Just the ambulance.
All right, the ambulance.
And you're not. Are you talking about putting it in a host station or just an ambulance that serves that?
We're hoping. What we hope is White House will add us a station or a bay onto the fire department.
Oh, okay.
On the Robbins County side.
Okay.
We have not got a commitment yet.
Okay.
That's kind of what and have a place to park it. But the personnel alone is $750,000.
Wow.
Just for the personnel for that ambulance, and the ambulance is around $200,000. By the time you probably get everything in that you need, you're looking at $300,000.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah.
I've got one of my students is going in to be an EMT.
Yeah.
And he's a junior. And I told him, I said, I think that's, and he has a lot of different interests. He has, he just has a ton of interest as far as he's in my audio video program, but he sees he's got to make a living. Things that we do are fun and they're practical in every aspect that you're working because everybody is doing video and things like that now. But he's like, hey, I gotta make a living. So he's going in to be an EMT. And I told him, I said, you're going to always need him. You're going to always need him. And they got a great program at Vol State for that too, to train those folks. And, it's a cool program.
There's several stages or steps of being an EMT. And some of them, when you start out, and then when you get you educated and training, you just keep stepping up and making more money. Mm-hmm. Right now, Robbins County is one of the best paying counties for EMTs.
That's interesting.
Yeah,
that surprises me.
We done job studies, and yes, we are. I've got other mayors coming to me upset saying, "Hey, y'all are paying
pulling
more."
Our guys,
yeah, pulling our people for the first time, and I don't know when. We are fully staffed.
Oh, that's wonderful.
In fact, we was losing people, and now we're getting them back, and we're fully staffed. It's we're looking at the new ambulances. We got to have new defibrillators on every. It's either defibrillators or this other so much equipment that I don't know about, but some of the stuff is $50,000-$60,000 a piece. Well, when you have 13 ambulances. Add that up, folks.
Yeah.
You're looking at a lot of money.
Yeah.
To stock these ambulances. The stretchers and, the shelf life of the computers where we do our billing. There's so much to it. We projected $2.5 million of revenue from the ambulance service. And you think, 13 ambulances, that don't sound like a lot. We don't probably get 60% of our money. That's just a fact of life. Mm-hmm. Sometimes the insurance companies will balk on us. There's a lot of folks that don't have insurance, and
they just can't pay it.
Well, Medicare is getting hard to deal with.
That
I'm
blows.
I'm just going to tell it like it is.
I don't understand insurance. I really don't. Yeah. We pay a fortune for it, and then they don't want to cover things that are absolutely the whole nonsense of the way the medical what's happened to our medical system with insurance and all of those things. It's just incredible.
Okay, let's say we got to transfer one from Springfield to Nashville.
Yeah.
And sometimes I'm getting out of my league talking about this stuff. But unless they're in really bad shape, Medicare won't pay for it. They think that their mom and dad or somebody or their kids can carry them to the hospital. But if they got to be hooked up stuff, Medicare will take care of it. But just for a ride from the funeral home, from
the house to
from
one hospital to another
nursery home.
Oh, the nursing home.
Yeah, okay. To the hospital. Yeah, sometimes they don't take care of that stuff.
Well, and that's one thing that my parents, of course, they have passed, but they always had a supplemental that they paid for to make sure that they wouldn't get stuck with a bill if something were to happen.
Well, you got to have a gap.
And Dad, you figure Dad had an aneurysm in West Kentucky, and they flew him to Vanderbilt, and because of his supplemental, they didn't pay a penny. Yeah. They didn't pay a penny for it. But you pretty much have to have the amount of money that my family has spent on insurance over the years, from all the health insurance that they have to do because they're farmers and they're independently, employed. I think about all the money we spent in insurance for roofing and all, as roofing contractors. Good heavens! There's no wonder that some of the finest homes I see are built by people who have been in the insurance industry.
Yeah. Right here, wow. I'm showing in our budget, we budget $2.5 million for revenue for ambulance charges. Mm-hmm. But yesterday was announced at the meeting that we're around $3 million. But when we make a budget out, we try to be conservative. Okay. We sure don't want to come up $3 million in expenses,
let me pause and do a break here. We're already at 26 after, and Lee Marie is asking a question, and I don't know something about what is the update on the building for critter fixers, and if you know anything about that, you can address that in just a second. Okay. But let's go ahead and let's talk about Barry and Rebecca Richards with Exit Prime Realty. Now, we have, of course, the name has changed. That happened a couple of months ago. I think it's already been a couple of months. Man, time flies. But the thing that Barry and Rebecca want you to know, it's the same great Exit team, same great, wonderful real estate tree, the Exit team. But it's just a new name. It's a new branch in the tree. Barry is the broker up here in Springfield, has an office right on the square. Rebecca is an agent in White House, has her White House office. And so they combine those two offices to bring you Exit Prime Realty. It's that simple. You can call Rebecca at 615-504-7425, 615-504-7425. Talk to her or Barry because they've just got everything going on. They'll work with you on historical properties, even if it's a home, if it's a business. They've sold and handled the exchange on historic properties. I know the theater's for sale now, y'all. All kinds of wild stuff going on. They got great homes in all areas. They specialize in Robertson County, but they also buy and sell in the surrounding counties and across the state line in Kentucky. The Robertson Countyans, they are Cross-Plainians. They'll be at the Kilgore Station Bluegrass Festival. Save the date. May 17th and 18th, and that will be here before you know it. But they are just a great team to talk to. Whether you're wanting to buy or sell, if you want to be a realtor, I pointed one of my students that's out of school now that's wanting to go into real estate. I said, man, you need to call the Richards and let them mentor you into real estate. But they're a great team. Again, reach out to them at sellwithbecky.com, sellwithbecky.com, or buy robertsoncounty.com. But when you reach out to my friends, as always, we just say, please let them know that U-Turn sent you. And as we continue on with the show, talking to Mayor Billy Vogle, what is the situation with the critter fixers?
Okay, let me finish up on ambulance service.
Okay.
At the EMS meeting yesterday, we're looking at having to probably raise our charges. Okay. And the reason is
raise charges for the ambulance services.
Right, because we done a survey. We done a survey of all the counties around us, and on mileage, it's $11 a mile. Mm-hmm. Well, the average across in Middle Tennessee is close to $17, and we're just charging $11. There's about 5 or 6 different services that you can get on ambulance. It depends on the condition of the patient. And we are way under the Middle Tennessee average. I was shocked because here's like ALS none and then ALS emergency, and we're at 765. Well, the Middle Tennessee average is 881, and then we're the lowest on mileage. But we're redoing our fees, but we're also doing them where we're going to leave the mileage the same because some people, the senior citizens in Robbins County, cannot afford. Mm-hmm. They just can't afford it. It's either pay the ambulance service or pay your electric bill.
Right.
And usually the ambulance service will come out behind, and we understand that. We write off a lot, but still we got to pay for a lot of equipment and try to keep it off taxpayers.
When do you think that rate? When is that rate going up?
This rate will go in front of the county commission at the next meeting.
Okay.
These new rates.
Okay.
Yeah, and just the average person looking at it will not understand. I mean, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 different services that you can get. And and even one of them's, going to the morgue if it's a DOA, and we're trying to keep that the same too. We're way under some of the averages there. But this is something that we do that's not pleasant, but it's part of county business. Mm-hmm. Anything to do with health, whether it's defibrillators or oxygen or what, that stuff just goes up constantly. Mm-hmm. It's unreal. And to keep the ambulances up, just the services of new tires and fuel, it's very expensive.
Mm-hmm. Very much so. And so, if you've got questions about the ambulance services, just go and watch the meeting itself. They have that; it's public. You can go in and watch it. Just go into how do they link all that? Just go to the county page.
Go to the county page, but all that that's at the EMS department. It's the public can come. It's always usually the first Tuesday of the month.
Okay.
I think that's right.
Oh,
wait a minute. It's the third Tuesday. We met yesterday, but that'd be the fourth Tuesday, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Third or fourth?
Yeah. Well, no. That would be.
It's the week after the county commission.
It's been so confusing because we had the first on a Friday. So y'all met yesterday? That was a Monday, darn.
It's the Tuesday following the county commission.
So okay.
5:00.
So you met last Tuesday then?
No, because
today's Tuesday.
Yeah, well, we met yesterday.
Well, that's Monday.
All right, because of the spring break. Man, I'm all jacked up.
It's got us all mixed up.
Let me tell you, hey, I've got meetings tonight. I mean, I've got so many meetings, it takes somebody to keep it in my book. It's unreal.
For sure.
Yeah.
And just your friends reminding you, say, hey, you're coming on radio today. So very good. Talking with Mayor Billy Vogle. This is our county mayor. If you're a newbie, we see folks coming on new and they're like, he's the mayor where? He is the county mayor. How many cities do we have in our county mayor?
We've got 10 cities.
10 cities. And a lot of them have their own mayor. They don't all have mayors,
trust
do
me,
they?
I talked to 3 of them yesterday in meetings.
Mm-hmm. Do they all have their own mayors?
Yeah, but most of them have a city manager.
City manager,
They all got mayors.
Springfield has a city manager. Now, we have city mayor, Mayor Williams.
Yeah.
And she got married. But we do have a city mayor in Springfield, but city manager is the one who is.
Yeah, yesterday I had to go to Ridgetop, and they was cutting the ribbon on the
Railroad Museum. I saw that. That was fun.
Hey, it's really nice.
We're gonna go. My husband and I both.
Talking about letting school groups come in.
Yeah.
Yeah, for field trips, and it's really nice. And I talked to Mayor Shaw. And
it's the first Saturday of the month
from
1 to 4.
1 to 4.
I think it's because that's something my husband and I are very curious about. One of the main reasons is one of my very best friends has a house right above the tunnel. Well, she has a beautiful estate, just overlooking that beautiful ridge there. But they're right on top. She's right on top of the tunnel. And when that train comes through, you're like, what is that? And once you get used to it, you don't notice it. But because her house is right there, I'm kind of curious about it. I would love to go down and see that tunnel. But I don't guess you can go down there anymore.
When I was with the CSX and L&M.
Yeah.
We used to stay in there when trains went through. And that's scary, boy. It's scary because it's dark in there.
Don't do that no more.
No, they stopped that, thank goodness.
That's dangerous.
But, when the temperatures are the same down there as year round.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And it's plumb dark in there when you get in there. And
I bet.
I've seen turtles in there as big as all get out. There's water runs through it constantly.
Really?
Yeah, and the walls are so close to the track that you couldn't put a tie unless you took 6 out in a row and slid them in sideways.
Yeah.
That was the only way to put ties in. That's how close it is in there. But that air shaft is right in the middle of that tunnel. And, you all see the smoke go up that air shaft when that diesel's pulling hard, yeah.
And how long has that tunnel been there? Do you know?
Well,
When did
when I
they do
first
that?
I went to work in '74. Some of the older gentlemen told me their granddaddies worked in that tunnel.
Okay.
And the story is it's been handed down. They lowered 2 mules down that air shaft when they started, and they worked their way out. Excuse me, worked their way out.
They worked. Yeah.
Well, when they got done, the mules were blind because they was down there so long. Yeah.
Oh my.
Yeah, but that tunnel's like 9/10 of a mile.
Oh, wow. It's fascinating. But you can go to the museum now, and it's in Ridgetop, and they have the Railroad Museum, and it's open first for the public, and I guess they're going to do some stuff for the schools, but for the public, first Saturday of the month, 1 to 4 p.m., you can go and check it out. So that's pretty cool. So do you have the answer for the critter fixers?
Yes.
Now? What is the deal with that? I don't even know what you're talking about.
We just now really getting settled in to our new animal control. There's still a lot of stuff over across the road at the old place.
Right.
And they're using it for storage too.
And we're talking over by the dump.
Yep.
There is, they moved animal control across the street to the new facility. If you haven't seen it, it's wonderful. So are they going to do something with the old building for critter fixers, or what's the?
I don't know if the old building will work.
Okay.
But have talked to animal control group about making a pad for whoever wants to do it to come in and put their own metal building up.
Okay.
Now, this is going to take a lawyer involved because of liability, somebody coming in and out. We're going to have some leases done. Of course, we would lease it for $1 a year to help out. But then I've had some vets call me, said, "Hey, you trying to put me out of business?" So whatever you do, it's not. But I'm for it because they would help us with the dogs we've got. Right now, we've got 21 dogs. It's up for adoption. There's 37 in there, so that means there's 15 or 16 that's in the court system. And what it is, we had to pick up 16 at one lick.
Yeah. And that's the thing. If in with all respect to vets, I want you to make money. I think that's wonderful. You've put yourself through school, all that, more power to you. But this old farm girl, what you're charging at the vets now makes me want to be sick, because truly, it's insane. It's insane, some of the prices for veterinary services, and whatever, but
Yeah, I'm not
crazy.
trying to, I'm trying to throw anybody on the bus, but that's just a fact of life.
I guess, you charge what the economy will, but you've got people that cannot afford to bring their animals to the vet. And that is all there is to it. There's just a lot of people. And if you want them to get fixed, if you want them to get spayed and neutered, you've got to have a more economical way for folks that do not have the income to have the,
What did you call it? Critter fixer?
Critter fixer.
Okay. Yeah. That's pretty well what it is.
And that's
They're not going to sit here and groom your dog and all that.
They're a discount spay and neutering service is what it is. And I think it's a nonprofit.
And
I don't know that for sure. Maybe Lee Marie will chime in. I don't know if that's a nonprofit or not. But, and again, all due respect to our veterinarians and all of that. But, oh my goodness, those of us who rescue dogs, and it gets extraordinarily expensive. I utilize the vet that comes into Tractor Supply because it's a little bit less costly. And, so I don't know. But, it gets very expensive very fast.
Well, there's a need because a lot of people will pick up dogs and bring them. Let me get a fact straight too. 'Cause I had a phone call. I'm all the time getting phone calls about animal control. A family or somebody picked up some dogs and carried them and dumped them out at the animal control building.
Can't do that.
You cannot do that. You say, well, why not? That's what they're for. No. If that dog has got parvo and even hanging around the door, then we'll have to. If one of the inside gets parvo, then we're going to have to destroy every dog in there. That's the reason you cannot just bring dogs that may have diseases and stuff. They need to be picked up and checked out outside somewhere before they're brought in. The last time we had that problem, we had to spray all the trucks down, everything, to try to get rid of it.
Well, and people that, it is hard because I know, we all love our pets and we want to take great care of them. It does get extraordinarily expensive. Just be responsible, get these animals fixed so they quit having babies. Yep. So we don't have these unwanted litters out there, but it's just, and I'm grateful we have something like critter fixers, but because I go to the vet, but man, it's,
them dogs out there, I go out there and there's some good dogs and they listen. I'm telling you, we need some volunteers out there. We get some out of the court system, but there has to be a deputy or somebody with them to kind of watch them. Had the other day,
on work release kind of thing.
Yeah, Scoos was asking, could somebody come out there and shadow? Well, we can't let that happen unless a parent stays with them all the time. In case one of them dogs was to maybe bite them or something. I don't see any out there would, but people stick their hands in there and you don't ever know.
Yeah.
But there's some good dogs out there. But right now, the guy that runs it, the manager, Randy Peach, he has a broken foot, so he's in a boot. Shay, which everybody knows her, she broke her leg 3 or 4 months ago, and she hasn't come back. And maybe another 2 or 3 months before she comes back. We have a lady that works there that's expecting, and then we've got another gentleman works there that's fixing to have back surgery.
Oh my goodness!
So we're thin ranks out of animal control.
Yeah,
and getting the other building ready. When we're like that just puts things down the road.
Okay, so the answer to the critter fixers, just we'll see.
Hey, we'll be there.
Working on it.
We'll be there when we get there.
Okay.
Yeah.
What else you got for us? Mayor Billy Vogle, let's pause, take a break,
okay.
And we'll continue talking with Mayor Billy Vogle. He is in the house. Here a week late because we just delayed him coming in because I was out last week, and we appreciate it. But we're going to pause and talk about we're talking about Veterans Motorplex at the old Highland Rim Speedway. Remind you again, if you want to know all the things that are happening racing here in Robertson County, follow them at Highland Rim Speedway. That's the old name. They had a lot of following there whenever they took over the racetrack and changed it to Veterans Motorplex. And it has been a lot of fun just watching what they've done out there. They are ready to get going for the 2024 season. Cannot wait to start racing. Jerry says just hang tight. They're doing some improvements on the track, and they will get racing here the first or second weekend in April. They're not going to be racing this Easter weekend, but they are getting ready for it, and they cannot wait to serve you. They will have that $40 ticket available again, where you can take up to 8 people for $40. That's up to 6 kids and 2 adults for a $40 ticket price, and that's on the general race days. If they have something special, like they brought the big rigs in last year, that's a different ticket. But for just the general racing that they do every Saturday, that $40 ticket will get your whole family in, and then you can come in and enjoy the concession stands. It is a family-friendly atmosphere. There's no alcohol. That's unusual. Normally you go to the racetrack and there's going to be beer sales, something like that. Not here. You don't have to worry about that. It is a family-friendly, fun place, and it's at 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier, 6801 Kelly Willis Road in Greenbrier. If you have some questions, you can call them at 615-430-3135, 615-430-3135. And this is a great place if you've got some kiddos maybe that are wanting their first job. Well, this is a really wonderful place for them to go and maybe get that first work experience. When you get by there, please always let them know that U-Turn sent you, and thank them for being one of our sponsors here at One Street Over. Mayor Billy Vogle is in the house, updating us on all things for Robertson County. He is our county mayor, in contrast to the city mayors that you have if you're new to town. This is the guy who speaks for the county. So this is our county mayor, Mayor Billy Vogle, and they had the county commissioner meeting last Monday night, and he's giving us an update on it. So what else you got for us?
While you're talking about Jerry, great guy. He's done a lot of work at that racetrack. He's got a family atmosphere out there. I remember when I was a kid, he'd be fighting in the infield and knocking and banging, but he's done a great job. Mm-hmm. And also he pays for an ambulance to sit there during those races. And we have to have 2 paramedics on it. Mm-hmm. I don't know whether it's a law or just part of zoning or whatever, but he does pay for that service. Mm-hmm. And he's got the law there plus the ambulance. So he's doing it right, folks. Absolutely. He's a good guy. If you haven't met him, just a sweetheart, and he would love to have you come out and visit with him at the racetrack. What else you got for us, Mayor? I'm just going to get on solid waste okay. In my meeting with other mayors, they have a task force. We're all looking toward Nashville. Nashville's fixing to be in trouble with some of their waste. They're thinking about hauling it on rail, which I don't think CSX is, probably too keen on. And then they're talking about using barges. But still, it's got to go somewhere. Mm-hmm. And we're all looking, because some of it could be coming to our transfer station, which if it does, it's $60 a ton for out of county. And and which will put a burden on us as far as The transfer station is, if you've ever been down there, yesterday morning I went down there at 8 o'clock, and they was lined up probably 10 or 12 waiting to get on the scale. So it could be a burden on us, but we have managed. We do free trash for Robinson County. Springfield, White House, when they come there, their trash is free. Mm-hmm. And I think it's great that we can do it but we are running out of places to carry it. Our trash is going to Nortonville, Kentucky, up in strip mines, and we're paying, we're paying $35 or something a ton on some of this regular trash, but then we're paying another $8 probably a ton to get it loaded and get it trucked.
So all of our trash goes there?
All our house trash.
Okay.
Now, some of our C and D, or whatever you call it, they're commercial, like concrete, wood.
Yeah.
Some of that goes by county or down to Clarksville. But
interesting.
Yeah, it's
an interesting business.
It is.
It really is. I mean, when you really dig into it about where, this is the argument for, our generation was not taught about recycling. Okay. No. And recycling is so cost prohibitive that it's very hard to convince our generation that recycling is the way to go. But to be good stewards of the planet, it's a good idea. Whether it costs us or not.
We have a lot of people that bring recyclables down to solid waste.
Yeah.
But then we have to put somebody out there, and we try to save money by going to the court system and say, hey, we need some volunteers down here, which I don't know if they volunteer, but they ain't going to show us. But then they come down there, and they'll go through the plastic. If it's got peanut butter inside the jar, that's trash.
Yeah.
And they'll sort this stuff for us. And, go through the paper. You'd be surprised the dollar store bags that will be in the plastic. All that's got to be took out.
Really?
Yeah, it's just not, they just want plastic. It's aluminum cans. You'd be surprised the tin cans that end up in aluminum cans.
Yeah.
So that's got to be sorted out too. All the paint buckets the paint has to be poured out and disposed of, oil and stuff. Somebody has to do that.
Yeah.
You can't 100% depend on the citizens doing it like it needs to be done.
Right.
And if the state and federal government doesn't get involved and help us with these prices on recyclables, we got a long way to go.
Mm-hmm. It's just a lot. God bless you. You got a lot on you, brother.
Well, we've carried cardboard off before and ended up having to pay them to take it.
Yeah. I had that situation whenever I was working up at the church. Everybody's wanting us to recycle, and I took a whole truckload of cardboard up to the recycling center, and I had to pay to get rid of it.
Because, the state makes us recycle so much, or we have to pay a fine, and our numbers are great. Mm-hmm. In fact, we're in a pool with 3 or 4 other counties that they use our numbers to help make them look better. They call it region. You're in that region.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we're doing great, but there's no money in it. In fact, it's an expense.
Yeah, it really is, and it's again,
it's cheaper just throwing the trash.
It's a bit, but then it's like, where you gonna go with it, and where you gonna put it, and it's just a constant battle. What else how are you doing on your meeting? We're about 10 minutes out.
We didn't have any resolutions for which is for the budget, none. Which that's very, very, very rare. Because we've always had some, usually from the school system. Mm-hmm. Maybe the spring break helped us on that. But election appointments, I want to say that the Robertson County Economic Development Board, we had a guy resign, and it's hard to get people for these appointments, but Donnie Eden is from White House, and there's a vacancy up there, so the industrial board would like to have Donnie on board. He passed unanimously, and if you knew his dad, the apple didn't fall far from the tree. Mm-hmm. So, it just...
he's a good guy.
He's a good guy. Great guy.
Getting to work with him and some other stuff, and so... that's a good pick, I would say.
Yeah, I think it's a great pick.
Yeah.
We got into planning and zoning. We had a couple of Ag 2s to R40, had an Ag 2 to R80. RP80 is the next thing to Ag 2. It's a house on 80,000 square feet. And some of these people are 5-acre tracts, what it is. Those passed. Now, we had 3 rehearing requests. And this is... in my 25 years, we've never had this before. If you go to zoning, you may not get a favorable vote in zoning, but that doesn't stop it from coming to the county commission. If the person that owns that land still wants to take a chance to go to county commission, that can happen. Well, we was told that maybe if a commissioner brought it up that voted against it, we could relook at that and vote on it again. Well, as discussion got to going, our book says you got to wait 6 months before you can bring it back. And it don't say that you can, if a commissioner, which we had 3 commissioners on 3 different zonings, say, hey, I want to change my vote, I want to bring it back up. Well, it doesn't say that in our book. So the 3 that we brought up for rehearing request, we decided to table them until we get the wording in our book that says if a commissioner wants to bring it back, if he wants to change his vote, then we'll look at it before 6 months. Well, then the discussion changed to, well, what about the other things if I voted on in the budget and I want to change my vote? So we had to kind of draw a line because I told them I don't need commissioners changing their vote. If we buy an ambulance and we order it and then come back next month and say, hey, I don't want to vote for that ambulance now, we can't be doing that. Mm-hmm. I mean, that gets too helter-skelter.
Oh, I can't imagine, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, especially if the schools, much money as they handle. So we're going to get that back in the book, write it up, go to the zoning board, let them change that if they want to. Let them write the rules they think will apply to everybody. But right now, if you get a zoning turned down, you have to wait 6 months before you bring it back. So we got 3 there that we just tabled. And I'm willing to look at any of that because sometimes I think 6 months is too long. Mm-hmm. If interest rates go up 2 or 3%,
that can be real significant.
Yeah. Now these people that come have already spent some money on.
Mm-hmm.
on
oh yeah, it's expensive.
So you want to help them out, but then usually, if a commissioner has enough opposition from people, they will listen. But if these people are following the rules that the county has, you have to be careful. Mm-hmm. I mean, you have to be real careful. You don't end up in court.
Mm-hmm. Very much.
Yeah.
So
it's hard for me to tell a guy what he can do with his land. We've got some strong opposition about solar panels, and we have sent our regulations off and had people look at them, and ours is some of the toughest in the state about boundaries and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Telling them that Roberts County will never have any, I'm not sure legally we can do that. Mm. Yeah. It's whether it's solar panels or whatever. This is legal questions that have to come out of the state. And Clyde, he works a lot of hours for the county as we grow, fighting these issues and trying to find out where we're at.
Well, and you talk about this is something I've been seeing a lot on social media about the disappearing farmland. Are you kidding me? I mean, that's one of the big issues is when you take it and fill it. I mean, once solar panels are in place, we're talking years that farmland is out of commission and can't be used. And I don't know who's going to grow our food, guys, but there's got to be a balance there.
Yeah, I think
the disappearing farmland is a huge issue.
I think solar panels is usually they try to put them around TVA power lines, mm-hmm. which some of that land you're driving a tractor around them anyway. And then there's some places that you just can't grow corn and wheat.
Well, that's true.
Yeah.
But,
like at the landfill, I've had a company call me and said, why don't you think about putting them on the landfill? Said, you'll never be able to do anything with that land. And I thought, well, that's a good point if the county could get a check. But I want to see what the check's going to be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because from 200 years from now, I don't know if anything's ever going on top of that landfill. I really don't.
Interesting.
I don't know if you'd ever build houses and dig down and put sewer in there and all that. Mm-mm. So it's things to look at that could save the taxpayers. Am I pushing solar panels? No, I'm not.
No.
I'm just trying to save taxes.
You're just looking at all of it. You're looking at the whole picture.
Looking at the big picture.
We're talking with Mayor Billy Vogle. He is our county mayor, giving us an update on the county commissioner meeting last week that happened during spring break. So everything he was telling you, the schedules are kind of all over the place because we just had spring break last week. But we're getting back on track, and we do want to get back on track with our final sponsor of the morning, and we're going to talk about Mr. Perry's music. Oh my goodness, I love these guys. I love we talk about Perry and Katie Myers. We talk about Katie's business on Thursday, his on Tuesday, and his business is rock. We're going to rock the house. I love it when you go if you go by Mr. Perry's music on Monday afternoon, man. It is a busy place because that's when they have their band classes and things like that. So it's a lot of fun. But something's also a lot of fun is band camp. They're going to have music camp coming up. If you want to get the kids involved in a summer camp, you need need to get on it. They're only $150 per week. $50 deposit will hold your spot. They've got a beginner camp June 10th through 14th. They've got a songwriters camp also June 10th through 14th. They've got an advanced camp July 8th through the 12th. Sound engineering and recording camp July 15th through 19th. All kinds of options for you if you want to get your student involved in the rock camp. Before it's too late, you need to get on board. You need to reach out to them at Mr. Perry's Music, it's actually Mr. Perry's Springfield.com. MrPerrySpringfield.com. You can reach out to them. They're at 2213 Memorial Boulevard there in Springfield. Now, again, you need to really reach out to them and communicate with them through an email. There's a phone number, 615-667-1191. You can send them a text, but you want to get in touch with them and let them know when you're coming by, what you're wanting to do, because they're busy a lot of the times. And if you come up and he's teaching classes, he won't really be able to meet with you, but you can reach out to him again at MrPerrySpringfield.com, MrPerrySpringfield.com. Let him know what you're wanting to do. If you want to reserve the spot for your student for camp, beginners camp, songwriters camp, advanced camp, sound engineering, recording camp, a lot of fun. $150 a week. That's a great deal. $50 will reserve your spot. Mr. Perry's Music, my friend Perry Meyer, and a great sponsor here at One Street Over. And let them know U-Turn sent you. Mary Billy Vogle, it's all you now. What else you got for us?
Okay, let's move down to resolutions. We did have one. We've done some work to our employee handbook, and one of the things we changed was bereavement. Ever since COVID, it seemed like sometimes the funeral's put off for maybe a couple of weeks. Well, they get 3 days of bereavement. So we had to change our wording in the handbook that they've got to take their 3 days within 30 days, but they can take it. It don't have to be the day of the when maybe there's a death in the family, because you got family coming in. You really don't know till the arrangements are made. So we fixed that and tweeted it a little bit. Of course, we're looking at about the snow days. My thinking on it is, and the way I felt, if the main roads are not passable, then the county probably will have to shut down. Court system could shut down. But if the main roads are clear, I really can't help what the back roads look like, because the county doesn't do salt and all that, and you just can't just shut everything down. So we're looking at that, and that may be something added to the handbook. And we had one road change. It's just nothing but a speed limit. If you have a problem with speeders, and we do because our highway department does such a great job, they don't have to slow down for potholes, I understand. If you have a problem, if you get with your road commissioner and ask for a request to maybe lower speed or something, they will look at it. And it happens maybe, once every 2 months we'll have a request where people are driving too fast. So you might get hold of your road commissioner. But on the plate, I just want to it's pretty quick. The courts, the judges are wanting a new courtroom. And, of course, they want a new building where all 5 courtrooms will be under one roof. Financially, with the schools, we're not there yet to do that. So I'm trying to get a courtroom where the sheriff can secure it, somewhere around the office building where the parking is, but it won't be popular with a lot of people. And but I'm gonna look out at the taxpayers, because we're running the court system for the whole county, and we're the ones paying for it. And we're in Montgomery County with our judges, and the governor appointed a new judge, which means, that means we're gonna have to build another courtroom. And it's of course you got the prisoners being transported. There's a lot to it. I agree. It probably needs to be a system built, but also the 911 is looking at a whole new building in case of the store the ambulances, the dispatchers, all be under one roof. And then when you got schools coming with $30 million this year, we're going to have to take small steps. And the reason is because financially this county is not where we can go borrow $130 million.
Right.
Yeah. And that's just a fact.
What else you got, Mayor?
That's about it. And that pretty well wrapped up. It's almost 8 o'clock.
You had a stack of papers there. I was like, okay, we got more to do.
I've got meetings this afternoon about the health insurance for the employees. And boy, don't get me started on that, because that really jumped this year. Yeah, we're
And we were kind of touching on insurance a while
Yeah.
ago, and it just seems, I don't know, out of balance.
Yeah,
really
it's,
out of balance. From if you could pay for insurance, and then when you had something come up, they cover it, but they don't.
Well, it's,
I mean, a lot of the times, and the deductibles. Oh my goodness, for what we're paying, and then you've still got thousands of dollars out of pocket before, and that's somebody that's got good coverage. Don't even talk to me about people who are self-employed that are paying. Oh, good heavens, it's insane.
well,
But
sometimes
I don't
being
get
a
it. I
mayor
don't
and a
get
member
it.
of the budget committee
Yeah.
is not fun.
No, I bet you.
it's not fun.
Be nice to this man. He's a good guy.
Don't-
His office is always open. He wants to help you out and talk to you anytime, but be nice to him. Be nice to the people who are serving in the public, because they get, oh my goodness,
Well, I
they
got
get
my picture
pestered.
took last week with the governor. I guess that
Did
means
you
something.
now?
Yeah, me and him's
Next time you see him, tell him I said hi.
Well, we cut up a lot. He's a
He's a good
really
guy.
he's got a tough job, and
Yeah.
and I bug him about it, and he bugs me about mine. But yeah, he's a good guy.
Yeah, I got to
Seems
know
like
him.
a good Christian man.
Well, oh yeah, I got to know him on the campaign trail because that was when I was running for Congress. But I mean, just could not say. How's his bride doing? How's Maria doing?
She's doing a lot better.
Yeah, because she had cancer, and
let
I
me
mean,
tell you, his mom's
phew,
still living.
really.
Yes.
I don't think I knew that.
He's talking about going home like on weekends and sitting on the porch with her all day.
Oh my gosh.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
You got a family farm.
He's a good
Me
guy.
and him, I'm going to say we don't agree sometimes on
Yeah.
everything.
Oh yeah, same
but
here.
we can talk civil to each other.
Exactly, and he's a good man. He's a good man. So thank you, another good man right here, Mayor Billy Vogle in the house. Always appreciate you, and thank you guys for joining us tomorrow. Ron Martin's coming in. We delayed his visit as well. Kind of report on the mayor and alderman meeting for the city of Springfield, and we got Houston Doris coming on in the morning talking about chick days up at the mill.
Last week he had his fish program, and I forgot about it. I need some fish.
Oh no! Well,
Last Friday.
all I'm telling you, Doris Milling, if you want to, old school milling, it is a great place. I love it up there. We're going to be talking to him tomorrow here on 1100 WSGI. God bless. Have a wonderful day.